Welcome back, Sports Nation and my champions. This is Eric from CSN. We're going to go a little off the board today, as today marks the start of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan, and I want to give a little bit of a preview from our competitors from Team USA. So let's get right to it. First thing I want to do is go into a little bit of the details of the Olympics itself. Obviously, it's a year delayed due to the pandemic. It starts today on the 23rd. It's going to run through August 8th. That'll be the closing ceremonies, and it's covered here in the States by the NBC network. So they have several channels here, including their streaming service called Peacock. If you want to look for a particular event you had in mind, I would highly recommend that you use NBCOlympics.com. There they have a detailed channel guide for each one of these channels, and it has the events and programming entailed with those. Now, of course, there are dozens and dozens of events here at the Summer Olympics, and we couldn't possibly go into all of them or into very much detail. So I chose what I call the big four here in the United States that a lot of people tend to focus on, and that is gymnastics, track and field, swimming, and soccer. So let's get right to it. We're going to start with gymnastics. On the ladies' side, the team's going to be anchored by Simone Biles, arguably the greatest gymnast of all time. Many feel that way. She currently has 4 gold medals and a bronze, and she's looking to get up to an additional 5 gold medals in these games, and that includes the team, which Team USA is heavily favored, the individual all-around, and then 3 events: the vault, the beam, and the floor exercise. Now, this is a 4-lady team, including Biles, Suni Lee, which many feel is the second best gymnast in the world to Biles, Grace McCallum, and Jordan Childs. Now, Jade Carey and Michaela Skinner are individual competitors, both going after individual medals in the vault and floor exercise. Now, they are heavily favored, but they do have some competition from the Russian, Chinese, and Italian teams. Now, as far as the men go, team-wise, they're not really expected to be medaling. However, there are some opportunities there for individual medals, and this starting with the anchor here, Sam Mikulik, who's in his 3rd Olympics, and his specialty is the high bar. You also have Brody Malone here, and going as an individual here. He's going to be going after the high bar medal as well. And then you have Alec Yoder, who many feel is the best on the pommel horse. So there are some opportunities for the men here as well. We're going to start with the men's side of track and field, and we're going to pick certain events, usually the more popular events, because obviously we can't cover every single event. We're going to start with the 100 meters, highly regarded as the world's fastest man. And the one who won the Olympic trials here is Trayvon Bromell. He won it with a time of 9.80. If you don't know anything about him, he was in the Rio Olympics, but he had heel and Achilles problems, and he ended up getting surgery for that. So this is a nice comeback story for him to finish first, and I think he's going to be a contender at least for a medal in the 100. The next one we're going to talk about for the 200 is Noah Lyles. Now, this is the 2019 world champion at the 200 meters. And after failing to qualify here for this event, the 100 meters, he was basically saying that this event is mine. He finished with a 19.74 time, and I think he's the guy to beat for gold here at the 200. Next one we're going to talk about is Michael Norman, who won the trials at the 400 meter mark with a time of 44.07. Initially started with 100 meters and then switched to the 400. I'm a little more interested in a guy named Michael Cherry. I think he might even outperform him here in Tokyo. So this will be a good story to see a fellow teammate here. As far as the 110 meter hurdles, you get Grant Holloway. He is the 2019 world champion at this event. And obviously, I think he won this going away, and I think he is the man to beat in the world for the gold here in Tokyo. And the last one, I just kind of put a field event here, and I had to talk about Ryan Crozier here. This is a shot putter. If you don't know, in the trials, he broke the world record by 8 inches. He got a put of 76 feet, 8.25 inches. And he broke this record that had stood for over 30 years. Well done, Ryan. Well done. And I think you're heating up right at the right time, and that you will strike gold here in Tokyo. So on the women's side, we also have a lot of strong contenders for medals here in these games. And the first one I want to talk about at the 100 meters is Javian Oliver. Now, she finished the trials, the finals, with a time of 10.99, but she did not actually win that race. That race was won by Sha'Carri Richardson with a time of 10.86. However, after the race, it was found that she had THC in her system, and she will be suspended for the Olympics, so she will not be going. So Javian Oliver is our representative. Hopefully she can medal. Not so sure, but we'll see, and we'll of course be rooting for her with Team USA. Next one is Gabby Thomas, the 200. She also tried to qualify for the 100 but failed. But at the 200, she had the second best time ever at 21.61. And the last time anybody beat that time was Florence Griffith Joyner back in the 80s. So I would say she is a strong contender for the gold here in this event. Next I want to talk about is Quanera Hayes, the 400 meters. She finished with a time of 49.78. She's ranked as the 6th best runner in this event. She kind of came out of nowhere, a little bit of a surprise here, but big story here I think is longtime Olympian Allison Felix, 35 years old, finished second in the finals here, and she'll be going to Tokyo as well in her 5th Olympics. She has a total of 9 medals, so of course we're all going to be rooting for her, and I know that's going to be a story you're going to be hearing about throughout these Olympics. Now, as far as the 100-meter hurdles for the ladies, Penny Harrison did win the event with a time of 12.47, and that is the season's best for this year. However, there's a lot of parity in this event, and I'm not sure she'll be able to medal in this event. We will see on that though. And the one I say about the field, and it's not really a field event, it's actually in the sport of wrestling, and that's Helen Maroulis. And I would be remiss without talking a little bit about her story. Now, she wrestles at 53 kilograms. It's about 116 pounds, and she is the defending Olympic champion. And the big thing with her is in 2016 in Rio, she defeated Sari Yoshida, arguably one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time, to win the gold medal, and she's back to defend her title. Now, as far as swimming, first off, Michael Phelps will not be attending the 2020 Olympics as a participant. However, we do have a lot to talk about, and the first thing is Katie Ledecky. This is her 3rd Olympics. She's had 5 total gold medals, and she's going to be participating in 4 individual events, plus she'll be in the relay pool, and those events are the 200, the 400, the 800, and the 1500 meter freestyle events. In the 800 meters, she is the 2-time defending Olympic champion. And we also want to talk about Lily King, and she'll be participating in the 100 and 200 meter breaststrokes, and she is the defending Olympic champion in the 100. As far as the men go, we have kind of a new generation here, 2 guys who feel that they will at least be medaling, if not getting gold here in Tokyo, and that's Michael Andrew and Caleb Dressel. Now, Michael's in 3 events. He'll be in the 50 meter free, the 100 meter breaststroke, and the 200 meter medley, while Caleb will also be in the 50 meter free, the 100 meter free, and the 100 meter butterfly. Now, while the men's soccer team did not qualify for the Olympics, the women sure did, and they are currently ranked #1 by FIFA, and you can see some of the familiar names here: Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd, Julie Ertz, coming back to avenge their quarterfinal loss in 2016 to Sweden. And lo and behold, guess what group they're in? Right with Sweden, who's ranked #5 by FIFA. Some of the other contenders here include China, Canada, and Japan. So it'll be very interesting to see how these ladies bounce back from that disappointment in Rio. If you did enjoy this video, why not give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Put your comments in the section below. I read every single comment, and I respond to just about every single comment as well. If you want to catch up to our 31 and 31 video series, click on these links right here. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, play like a champion.